Oh, hey, it's live. Welcome, Face Off Hockey Show. I'm getting things together because I got some new stuff I had to unpack. This week, what are we going to talk about? Your guess is as good as mine because it's the dog days of summer. People are signing extended deals. People are going ahead and getting injured. NBC's doing some ish. The IHF. Wait, the IIHF. Olympic hockey. More. Face Off Hockey Show. No Lyle. Next.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. What? With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hey, everybody. How are you doing? I'm doing great. It's weekend. No, it's not. It's Wednesday. Face Off Hockey Show. I'm Scotty Waz. As you can tell, prepared as ever. Johnny P is there, and that's the show.
All right. See you guys next week.
So have a great one. A lot of shout-outs. So it's going to be an interesting show today. We have no Lyle Richardson. He is out in Alberta for his nephew's wedding, I think it is.
Yes.
Something. He's in the smoke-filled rains of Alberta. Mark is
like the rains down in Africa, right?
By the way, do you like that Weezer cover? Because it sounds the damn same thing. It's hard for me to tell the difference.
It's basically the same song, except it's not in the 80s.
Right. I don't think that makes a good cover, right?
A bunch of people were like, "Oh, this is such a great cover," and I'm like, "It sounds the same to me."
Exactly.
I'd rather listen to Toto.
Give me the Toto version and stop confusing the hell out of me. Yeah, I was just unpacking some new stuff. I got a new seat cushion that I'm breaking in here for the
nice.
For the shoe.
Is it a purple?
Let's see. What is it? No, it's the Snailax. I think it's better named.
A Snorlax?
Yes, a Snorlax. I'm sitting on a Pokemon. You know, they actually did have Snorlax like couch, like little beanbag chair kind of things.
As they should.
I'm like, that's
great marketing.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Right? No, I got this thing. It's a cooling system, and it's got a massager. It was like $36. I've discovered a thing on the internet called the Fat Kid Deals. Go to twitter.com/fatkiddeals.
This is a real thing. I thought you were just joking.
No, it's a legit thing. Like, you can buy so much garbage right now. It's fantastic.
Is there like a Twitter handle for like single guy deals that I can pick up?
They got Adidas college T-shirts for $9 on Amazon.
Oh, check that out.
They let you know about deals.
Deals on deals.
Yeah, they got the Bluetooth FM transmitter for $9.99 if you use a certain promo code.
Does that mean we can put our show on the FM again?
Well, no. This is the Bluetooth that you shove into the socket. Like, if you're not cool enough to
have Bluetooth in your car already, is what you're saying.
Yeah, essentially, it looks like. Yeah. And then you can or a deck, an auxiliary deck. So you can just put that in there.
Basically, if you have a car from like 1996.
Essentially. Or if you have my car, which is a 2008 Grand Prix, which you have to have a special adapter to put a new stereo in it. I found that out. I needed an adapter to put a new stereo that had like Bluetooth or an aux cord or anything. Like, fuck Pontiac. Glad you went out of business.
That's weird. Yeah. Screw you guys.
But yeah, fatkiddeals.com. Or .com. Twitter.com/fatkiddeals. You can get a hybrid foam mattress, queen size, $136.99. 10-year warranty.
Are you saying you still have an 8-track player? I think Eddie might still have an 8-track player. Eddie Van Haskell is on the live chat.
Wow. How's Mr.
My first car? My first car actually had an 8-track player in it when I got it. Is that dating myself?
A little maybe.
Eddie says he still has an 8-track player. It's amazing. That is amazing.
Well, that's fantastic. You know what?
One 8-track. It was it was it Elvis Presley was the one 8-track that I owned for my car. So I had to listen to that over and over again because an 8-track player also isn't a radio.
War Eddie for having an 8-track player. And thank you for listening, sir. We appreciate it.
Greatest hits. Oh, wow, that's aggressive. Don't bite.
What greatest hits?
Alice Cooper's greatest hits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Don't sweat the technique. All right, what'd you could buy a big box of 40 grandma cookies for $14.99. A 40-pack.
That guy's need.
Right? A massive 110 Glad trash bag for only $12.
Are you I haven't looked into this yet, and I probably should like tonight. But are you able to buy like Danish butter cookies on Amazon all year long? Because I know the grocery stores are only have them in like the winter time, like around Christmas.
Listen, I was able to buy a whole heaping helping of Chinese fortune cookies. And I wasn't even at a Chinese restaurant. So I think you can buy Danish butter cookies all year round. And you could buy, Johnny, I'm looking at it right now, a 3-pound tin. I don't know if you need 3 pounds worth.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. That might take me 2 weekends.
It's a tall boy. It's a tall boy tin. Big
Those
tin
things,
for big appetite.
I won one of them once, and they lasted almost 2 weeks. But I felt like I felt like I was falling into either a deep depression or like a sloth fatness because I was like, what do I want to eat for dinner tonight? Oh, I'll just have like 3 or 4 sleeves of Danish butter cookies.
It could have just been mono.
That's true.
So how much do you think a 3-pound tall boy tin of Danish butter cookies are?
$12.
Close. 15 with free shipping. Ships from Office Depot. Shout out Office Depot.
The irony of Office Depot having these all year long is amazing.
Right?
God. The next Amazon order that I'm going to have to put these. I'm going to find a tin of Danish sugar cookies and butter cookies, and put them in my wish list so that I can buy some the next time that I need things.
Listen, if you're hungry, they have Fat Kid Deals have a 35-piece Tide Pods for $7. So, I mean, if you need a breakfast, there you go. A home projector for $35.99.
Hey, Brian's on too.
Hey,
amazing.
Hey, Brian, how about I sent Brian an email, and hopefully he's changed this thing yet, the Patreon gimmick, since we eliminated the $8 one. Sent him an email about getting to the $5 footlong.
Yeah, we're saving you money, buddy.
Saving you money for the same bullshit. Shout out, Brian.
How are you, Brian?
Good. God bless you, Brian. Happy Arbor Day to you and yours. What is today? Next week, next National Lemonade Day is the 20th, according to my Chick-fil-A calendar.
That's because they're just trying to pawn off some lemonade on you.
God bless them. That lemonade's pretty good. Not as good as
it is pretty good. I won't lie. Like I used to go. There used to be a Chick-fil-A near work, and I would stop and get breakfast every once in a while. The guy knew me my name, and I'd stop like maybe once every 2 weeks. It was weird, kind of weird. He actually.
1 minute. Go quick now. Ultra soft velour robe with hood, $12.49 at the Fat Kids Deal. Be dialing for your soft velour robe. Grand mid-10 condition. Jimmy, can't get it anywhere else. That hurt my throat. It's been a while since I've done that.
Brian, you still have the top Patreon sub. We're telling you, save money, go down.
Yes, there's $5. There's no more $8. You're not getting a reward since we eliminated the tier.
Save your money. Have a beer on us.
Save that $3. Where can you get a beer for $3 outside of Frank's Den? And Frank's dead. Hey, you fucking get your beer.
Frank's Den is amazing. Are you serious?
No, I love it. A $2 Natty Bose. $2 Natty Bose.
Actually, the Lansdowne Inn too. The Lansdowne Inn's fantastic. If you haven't been there, you should go to the Lansdowne Inn.
Is that like a more northern?
Well, thank you, Brian.
Is that
Brian said he's okay with giving us Ovechkin because he won the Stanley Cup.
That's great. He's not getting the secret shows, is what I'm telling him. He's not getting the poll questions.
He said he's fine with it. He says he wants to keep giving us $3 a month.
Okay, God bless him.
Yeah,
God
we
bless
love
him. God bless him and his. But he's not going to get the bullshit show that Jen and I are going to do this weekend. I think Jen and I might do the extra show this week.
That's fine.
This month.
This
week.
But who does get the bullshit extra show then?
The $5 Patreons.
Everybody gets it.
The Langways. The guys who are the Langway and aboves are subscribed to the Langway. Here's how Patreon fucks you. And I love Patreon, patreon.com/faceoffhockeyshow. So we eliminate the Ovechkin tier. You would think, all right, Brian dips down, and he dips down
automatically, right?
Nope. Patreon says, go fuck your mothers. And you have to, the subscriber has to manually go down into the next tier. I looked this up and I'm like, this is garbage. I can't even do that because I'm messing with his money. Obviously, that's fine. I'm not going to fuck with people's money. But the fact that it doesn't automatically go, oh, yeah, no, it automatically puts you in no rewards. I'm like, what? What are you doing? No rewards. Get out of here. No rewards. So that's what we're trying to say. We're trying to save you money and get you extra shows. That should be on a t-shirt.
So because he's part of the $8 one, that means that he's getting nothing.
Exactly.
Extra.
So he's paying $8 for nothing. And that's why I told him to get into the 5.
But we need to get him into the 5. I'm trying to help here. I'm trying to help out.
All right. I can.
That is a clusterfuck. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? Patreon is a bit of boobage for that. They really
they need to get with their togetherness.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. This is how much content I didn't even send Johnny the rundown. I did have a rundown.
That's fine. I wasn't going to read it anyway.
That's fine. So to edit your membership, hover over your profile icon on the upper right. From the drop-down menu, you click your membership. And then you'll see what the stuff is there. And then you can edit the tiers. I think you can edit, and then you can drop down to the tiers and get the tiers that you want to tiers.
Can we change it so it's not TIERS but TEARS?
Yes, I think we could. If I knew code, I think we could.
I think we should change it to like $5 tiers.
Okay, $5 tiers. Because you're paying for the bullshit we give away for free. What the fuck's your problem?
No, we love money.
No,
because it helps us. Because it helps us do things on the show. It helps us travel. It's at least saving us money on travel for once. Yes. Finally.
we love money. We should have just stopped there. We love money. So Johnny, how was your week?
I'll cut it out in post. Speaking of cutting things out in post,
yes, sir.
So I did. This is going to be fantastic to say out loud, like with people that actually listen. But I'm voicing over all of our videos for training at the hospital.
Look at him go, everybody.
Okay, good. Brian said as soon as the show is over, he's fixing it.
That's all right. Perfect. And if he has any questions,
he says he does hate paying us less, but he wants the extra shows.
I appreciate it. No, trust me. We would rather.
We agree.
Yes, we agree, but we would rather you pay less to get the same garbage, but better. We would want you to get the shows. So, in any case,
yeah,
you're voicing over. Vito Johnny.
I'm voicing over. I'm finally using the studio to our advantage. I'm not getting paid anymore to do this. But
see, that's the hoop.
But it's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can. I'm gonna play some of it just because I can. It's my show. Well, kind of. Mm-hmm. But just to say how I did this, I had to do like multiple takes. I had a script.
Oh,
it was like it was effectively a live read.
A live read but taped.
And I mean, right, a live read but taped. And I took 3 takes of each section.
Not bad.
Then I edited out what I liked from each take to make one long section. So my Acid Pro, or whatever the free acid is called, acid free maybe. It had like 10 channels in it because I just kept like cutting and like splicing back together, and I sent one file out, and my boss and our like team lead for our team was like, "Wow, this is fantastic. It sounds great. Like you did all this in one take." I was like, "Oh no, hell no. I'll tell you how I did it later." Here we go. Let's see if I can play some.
All right, let's see what we got.
It's muted. Why is it muted? Here we go.
Johnny PV.
Or tile leads to a commonly used page or function within PeopleSoft. The tiles on your home page will depend on the type of access you have. For example, if you don't have access to approve vouchers or requisitions, you will not see the approvals tile. Pretty great, huh? The menu bar
sounds good.
at the top. Yeah, it's extremely monotone. It's spaced out well. It's like to the point.
I was gonna say it gives you a chance for slides and the people to digest those slides.
Well, so basically,
and
there's a video that's playing under it, and there's like while the video is playing, the like cursor is like showing people like what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's like a tape PowerPoint.
Yes, it's literally exactly what it is, except it spits it out in an MP4.
Perfect, nailed it.
So I'm using Face Off Hockey Show and doing some private videos, and then stealing the audio from those videos and then deleting them before anybody else knows that they're in the account.
Nice, good work.
Unless you've seen them, I don't know if you have or not.
Well, I don't look at the account.
But yeah, so that was my week. Was a bit of that. What else occurred? I got a golf launch monitor.
Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of want to like take some numbers and like send it to Ballingy and be like, how does this work?
Hey, figure this out.
Yeah. Figure out what I need. But yeah, I've just been screwing around on eBay for a while, wasting some time. Nice. The EPL started. I won week 1 of fantasy EPL. I'm at the top of our league. Scored 124 points, the most in the league. And week 1, I'm winning. First place. Boom. Let's see if I can go wire to wire.
I'm pretty sure I had negative points. I don't know. I just picked guys who had funny names.
Oh, that league. Yeah, that league, Phil is winning.
Oh.
And I think Phil's going to win.
I got 25 points.
That's not bad.
Not terrible for not knowing for not a Clue United.
Not a Clue United is a fantastic team.
I think Mark's Mark is fucking terrible.
I think more teams can actually still get in. So if you want to get in on fantasy EPL, let me know. I'll put it out on Twitter again. More people can get in, but the Face Off Hockey Show radio, not a Clue United. You're in last place right now, but that's okay because Mark is above you. Lads for Leeds, Sean Leahy, who was the reason that I put this league together, he's in 4th place right now. The Emirates, which is a good pun with the Arsenal manager's name, and the only female in our league. She is in 3rd. I'm in 2nd, and Phil is in 1st with the Natural Breaks, which is great. It's a fun name, the Natural Breaks. It was a fantasy name that I gave him years ago for our fantasy cycling leagues. Yeah, I feel like there's like a certain part of like weirdness in fantasy when you're like, yeah, so we had a fantasy cycling league. But natural breaks are when cyclists get off their bike and like pee on the side of the road and then like hop back on their bike and join the race again.
That makes sense.
So that's perfect for Phil. So yeah, so that's our league. We'll give you updates throughout the EPL season. If you want to join, let us know. You can beat Sean Leahy. He's in 4th place.
That's what this league should have been called. Beat Sean Leahy.
Sean Leahy.
Yeah.
I might have gotten
It's not only a
flagged.
great team name, but also a lovely suggestion.
Oh, that's fantastic. What else happened this week? Oh, it was amazing. You would love it. I should have brought the box downstairs. I'm so dumb sometimes. I got some Tron Legacy Legos.
Interesting.
Two of the light cycles. Racing side by side on a put together mat that looks like the Tron like board that they're like riding on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing. I've actually waited for Tron Legacy to come out in Lego form in quite a while. Between that and the ship in the bottle that I got recently, I got two things that I've been thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if this occurred in the Lego form at some point?
It's like this, but Lego. I'm like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So my week has been decently eventful with things just showing up at my house and the voiceovering.
And the voiceovering, yes. Cool. What did I do this week? We had a team meeting. We hung out with work folk. Partied all night long Friday. Saturday took Jen's kid back to the train station. He's in Santiago. Got a nice little gift from the Zephyr Corporation. The Zephyr Corporation. They make hats.
How did that occur?
So they have this new gimmick out called Tochiodachi. It's a new hat line. It's got chibi characters as logos. And little chibi guys as little chibi logos of mascots of NCAA teams. So there we go. Got that. So they sent me a sticker pack. They had their little Tochiodachi guy. It looks badass. Looks like a Jinko guy. It could be a skateboard company. Who's to say? They gave me 2 of these fancy just logo Tochiodachi stickers.
Nice. One of those can end up on the Face Off Hockey Show travel case.
It should. And they send me a Testudo. Testudo.
Oh, that's awesome. Testudo looks angry.
He is. He's kind of angry because the coaching staff is a bunch of shit dicks.
Oh,
so
I read that article.
Oh boy. Death penalty, can you say? They're just shut the program down.
How do they even have a football team at this point?
I got it.
I mean, honestly, I'm not even like, this isn't hyperbole. Like how is there even a football team at that university any longer?
Yeah, how the NCAA hasn't shuttered them down like they did SMU so many years ago. So much so that they created a 30 for 30 for him. I don't know. That's a really good question. And I think that's one of the things that needs.
It's insane. You have to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, like 1 or 2 years, you have to get rid of it.
Like, so teams have been punished for way less than this.
Oh yeah, they killed a kid. They said they killed a kid. They're playing Texas in a couple weeks.
Like, let's be completely honest at this point. I'm completely okay if they came out and they were like, guess what? We gave out $100,000 of Adidas money in order to bring this blue chip basketball player to Maryland. Sure. Oh, yeah. You killed a kid? No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really?
Wait, you killed a kid? Hold on. This guy's buying Nikes, though.
I don't get it. I don't understand. So here's the worst part, right? Is that in soccer, if it looks like you have a concussion, you're supposed to stop the game, call a trainer out, and get everything taken care of. This kid had a heat stroke, and no one gave a shit.
No, they dragged him over the line to finish the sprint because the strength coach is a sadistic bastard. Thinks it's fucking army play.
Yeah, the team needs to just like kind of get dropped. Like, I don't even think losing scholarships is the play at this point, because that only really hurts kids. Yeah,
you can't lose scholarships. Like, that's not even. Oh, we kill. So
allow
that means
anybody that was part of the team that wants to transfer to transfer.
Yep, no penalty.
They can play next season, and the team is done. Sorry, but you're not making that money.
Not since Frege left. You're absolutely right. Like, that just. Just the hell with it. Just be done. You're the Big Ten too. You're gonna get dominated every year, so you'll be lucky if you're bowl eligible every year.
Wasn't the reason that the Maryland went to the Big Ten because of football?
I thought it was because of more money. I thought because of basketball
so.
too. They could dominate a little bit better in basketball than the ACC. You don't have to play Duke all the time. You don't have to play North Carolina.
Yeah, but they were getting better. It's not like they hadn't won a national championship in the past 20 years.
Nope. We're getting to that point though.
Right. In like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. I get that. But we can still say that with a straight face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's bigger money for basketball, and then football you get more exposure because I guess I don't know.
Team like you get the shit kicked out of you every week.
Exactly. You're getting paid to do it. Like freaking Texas paid him Texas paid him $750,000 to go down to Texas and they beat him. So.
That might have actually been like the longest read, like online article that I've had in a while.
Wow.
And it was one of those things where I was like, what's going to happen next? Because I have no idea. Like it just got worse. As you kept digging, it kept getting worse.
Yeah, as things got worse and worse, or as things got more and more, it's like, oh yeah, I'd be surprised if DJ Durkin doesn't end up behind bars somehow.
Yeah, at least 3 people I feel like should be.
Oh yeah, a whole lot of them. Get them out of here. Anyhow.
And if you don't think that that Maryland is getting sued, my God.
Oh yeah, no. Even them saying, yeah, we take moral and lawful reason for this death. You don't think that family's going to sue? They know that place has deep pockets. They're from fucking. I think they're from Randallstown, for Christ's sake.
It's so dumb. I don't even. How does it even happen nowadays? Like, there's so much technology now where you can see this occurring like 30 minutes before it's going to occur. How does that even happen anymore?
And fucking common sense too. Dude's a big guy. He's gonna be laboring under the hot Maryland sun and the humidity too.
Well,
Let's not
it
forget
wasn't
about
even that hot. So here's the other interesting part: is it hasn't even really been that hot here. Like when we were younger, when I was in high school, it would be like 110 degrees in like August when we were like playing, like getting ready for soccer, and like football was doing their like 2-a-days and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 85 degrees right now here.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not what it used to be. Oh, goddamn. I don't want to scan. Kaspersky. Good show. Leave me alone.
Oh, the Russians are on to us.
Right? Anywho.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. And if there's a football team and people support that,
whatever. It's not your money. But, Johnny, let's end it on a good note. Jen found me something today before we went on air.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen
Jen
this.
always has fantastic finds.
Jen's got great finds. The D3 soundtrack is all up in your grill.
That's amazing. I don't even know what is on the D3 soundtrack. Let's talk through this.
I'm glad you asked. Track 1, song called Grade 9 by Bare Naked Ladies.
Interesting. Is that made for D3? Because it wasn't on any of their other CDs, right?
I think this is an original. Oh, nice out.
It's actually just 1 week over and over and over again, but they called it Grade 9.
It's been Grade 9. Would you look at me? It works perfectly. Track number 2, Changing of the Guard by a band called the Stone Coyotes.
That was actually before the Coyotes existed.
Yeah, I know. 96? Yeah, exactly. As it happened. Number 3, Hey Man by the Poor Boys. Track 4, Shake 'Em Down by Southside Johnny. Number 5, probably the hit of the entire soundtrack. Good Vibrations by Marcus Mark and the Funkay Bunch. You got your good vibrations. Come on.
Interesting.
Feel the vibration.
You know, so last week we were talking about one song that was brought to you by multiple people, like the Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm.
How How many groups have done Good Vibrations? Because I feel like there's like 8 different groups that have like recorded Good Vibrations.
Let's see. I think also you have to throw Creep into that equation too. Because TLC had it, Radiohead had it, Stone Temple Pilots, 2 years of each other.
And the original.
Yeah. So Good Vibrations, 7 times.
Oh, I was so close.
So close. Started off in 71 with Todd Rundgren. Oh, that doesn't even have the Beach Boys in here. Hold on a minute.
Hold on, that's 8.
Yeah, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, then Todd Rundgren, then the Trogs. Oh no, this is the Langley School of Music. That doesn't count. And the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I don't know if that helps. The King's Singer, Wilson Phillips, Gym Class Heroes, although Wilson Phillips could be a cover.
Wilson Phillips is probably a cover.
Yeah. Let me see recordings and popular music. Okay, thank you, Wikipedia, for just slowly loading in.
AJ is on now too. He's talking like the live chat is on fire tonight.
All the Warriors are on here tonight.
Apparently, it's extremely hot in both Florida and Raleigh.
I believe that. All right, so Good Vibrations, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Good Vibrations, Beach Boys song. It's also adapted into a film. What are you trying? Stop scanning the database, you fucks.
We didn't vote.
I don't know what else. Let me see. Party Animals? Is that a thing? I don't know.
All right, maybe it will not, but I feel like Good Vibrations had like at least like 4 different people that have recorded it at some point then.
Yeah, no, I think that.
All right, so what else is on the track? We got sidetracked.
Accentuate the Positive by Dr. John.
Isn't that an actual song?
Yeah, it is.
But not who's Dr. John? He's not the one who actually did it, right?
He might be.
I feel like Dr. John is like a
just
Dr. Phil wannabe.
All right. Dr. John. Nope. He is a guy. He's 77 years old. Good for him.
Well, maybe he was the one who did it then.
Yeah. From that North Carolina voodoo that you do. Jesus Christ. Can you just give me a fucking discography? Jesus Christ. I don't give 2 shits about the rest of his life. He did a vocal performance called Making Whoopee. Not of the hockey team, though. I wish it were, though. Would have been funny if it was. Christ, I have to fucking spell this shit out.
That's fine. We can keep going. We don't have to really care.
You're killing me. Here we go. I found it. Here we go. We're trying to fill 2 hours here, John. I'll see if we can get to 2 hours tonight. I think we're going to try to get to 2 hours. Nope, you were right. Published in 1944. Music written by Harold Arlen. Lyrics by Johnny Mercer.
Yeah, there we go. I knew that was an oldies.
It was initially recorded by Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters.
There you go. Bing.
Kay Kaiser.
This is how Mark and I grew up. Mark and I grew up on the oldies when we were kids.
Here's this bullshit. So they were made a recording December 8th. December 21st of the same year, Kay Kaiser made a recording with Dolly Mitchell and a vocal trio.
Oh, then, that was probably before the time where you could like text people and be like, "Hey, you recording this song?"
Not 4 months later.
I bet you whoever wrote it sold it to multiple people.
But not 4 months later. Like the Bing Crosby one reached at number 2 in 1945. Dinah Washington recorded the song with Lionel Hampton on a live broadcast. This has been done by several million people.
Okay.
Dean Martin and Leslie
I was going with
Uggleton.
8, but several million is probably not as many as
Listen.
8.
Oh, here we go. All right. So a few months later, Johnny Green in the United Kingdom came up with one. Connie Francis in 1960. Roy Hamilton in 1960. Ella Fitzgerald in 1961. Perry Como once in 1958 and later in July 1980. Aretha Franklin, 1962.
So much more than 8 is what you're saying.
Sam Cooke recorded it. Dave Van Ronk recorded the album. Suzanne McCorkey.
This should have been the haha fuck you for tonight.
NRBQ. The Vindictives. John Bolt of New Orleans, who is also Dr. John. Al Giorgio. Cliff Richard recorded the song for his album Bold as Brass. Billy Gorilli, which I refuse to believe is a real person.
Hold on. So this has been recorded more recent than Dr. John, but they decided they were going with Dr. John's version for the soundtrack.
This was in 96. So that's probably why.
That was when Dr. John did it, but then it's been more recent since then.
Oh yeah, more recent since. Paul McCartney in 2012. Barry Manilow in 2014.
Ah, Barry. Well, just wait. I mean, I'm surprised that crap. I'm gonna have to figure out his name at this point. God damn it. Why do I forget people's names like this? He's in my music. Let me find it.
By the way, running out. Queen, We Will Rock You, number 7. Winning it all by the outfield. And the original score for the movie by J.A.C. Redford, which includes D3, the Mighty Ducks main title, Mr. Goldberg's Wild Ride, which could not be more fantastic, considering the fact that he is now Morning Showdown and Victory Over Varsity are the scores of this.
Victory Over Varsity, huh?
And of course, Gunnar Stahl, who was the goaltender for the varsity team. Could be the greatest soundtrack ever alive. There we go. That's what I did with my week.
Well, that's good.
Drinking,
Who was I
stickers.
thinking of? I'm trying to figure this out. Michael Bublé.
Oh, Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé is definitely going to come out and record this at some point.
I'm surprised he hasn't, in all honesty. What can you do? All right. We have one. Speaking of music, Johnny, you want to go ahead and acapella?
Yeah. Hold on.
If you can either acapella or
because I'm a voiceover artist now.
I'd say so, sir.
Got it.
I just dropped in.
This is for Brian.
What condition my condition was in.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
You love that song.
Perfect. Only one injury this week, and it's a substantial one, is Andre Sekera is out indefinitely after suffering an Achilles injury. The Edmonton Oilers.
That hurts so bad.
Edmonton Oilers defenseman obviously going to be out. They're going to miss the start of the season, if not the entire season. So
Brian says it's his favorite song of all time. Actually,
it's amazing. So there's that. He underwent surgery already, so he's got that.
Do I go with the 9% double IPA next, or the which one is this? This one is I got more beer from Duclaw also. If I didn't mention that.
Yeah, and last week you did.
How come Loose Cannon doesn't tell me what percentage this is?
I want to say Loose Cannon 7.
Here we go. 7.25. Do I go 7.25 the rest of the show or 9%?
I don't know. How fucked up do you want to get?
I'm just going to sleep by myself. So
all right, 9% it is.
All right. It's called Hellraiser Part 2. Which is a fantastic name.
There we go. Beautiful. That's fantastic.
Double IPA, 9% alcohol by volume. Hellraiser Part 2.
The best of the Hot Shot movies. That's a lie.
I agree. Actually, I'm surprised that they haven't come out with any like remakes of Hot Shot or like Spaceballs, because they're remaking all movies right now.
That Spaceballs remake has been in the works for like 2 decades now.
Well, they're trying to make the second one, but they're making the second one with Rick Moranis, and he doesn't want to be part of it.
It's kind of
Mel
difficult.
Brooks will die before that occurs.
That's why they're shooting this footage now.
Well, they should, because
Yeah.
Mel Brooks needs to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
right, sorry.
All right. So Patreon pick, patreon.com/faceoff hockey show. You can be like these fine people. Sean, Angela, Brian, Mitch, Chris, Ethan, Matthew, Kevin, Trista, Mark, Damon, and PF Chang, the company. Puck follower. Thank you, everybody. For this, you can be like that, and you get a Patreon pick. You get it in there, you pick it. You help us money with travel and stuff, and huzzah. Patreon.com/faceoff hockey show. So we had two choices. The one that won was the epidemic of guys doing one and done, as it seems another Boston University player has decided to be 1 year in college, and Stu Gatz, he's out of here, as Brady Tkachuk has signed a 3-year entry-level contract, leaving Boston University after 1 year. Boston University also lost Jack Eichel after a year. So it makes me, and it's more frequent because even here at North Dakota, Tyson Jost was a year and he was done. Brock Besser was 2 years, so he lasted a little bit more. But a lot of kids leaving a lot earlier than usual. I think Zach Werenski might be one of those guys. I have to look. I don't know how long he spent at Michigan. Is good, bad, and different? Like, obviously, we see a lot of kids, the NBA thinking about getting rid of their hey, you have to spend at least a year in school kind of thing because they know it's not working. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, bad idea, or push. Especially for hockey players, because if you're a forward, I guess you can jump in, but for defensemen and goalies, I mean, that's a huge risk.
Well, so does hockey have the thing that if you enter no, because you can get drafted before you go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can't sign a professional deal.
Yeah, but you're still rights of that team that drafted you. It's not like baseball where like
once
Tex
you step in a classroom
coming out of high school, but then he went to college and then he had to get drafted again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just saying, like, the NCAA will welcome you in as so long as you don't have, because they're changing that rule in basketball that if you get drafted but don't sign with, or if you go into the draft and don't sign an agent and then don't get drafted, you can come back to school scot-free.
But that's smart.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you should be able. So, I have zero problem with this.
Okay.
And the reason is because what if? So, say I was an accountant.
You're an accountant.
Thank you. And I, like, after 1 year of college, I was like, college is bullshit. I'm dropping out of college and I'm becoming an accountant. Why? No one would care.
No, that's true.
So why does it matter if you're a hockey player and you literally do exactly the same thing? Like, maybe because the college is paying for your education or they're building a sports team around you or something to that effect. But sorry, like, you literally owe nothing to this college. So
you're right.
If you're only going to be there for a year, then have a great fucking year and roll.
Yeah, love, peace, and hair grease.
Like, you'll still be able to bring the Stanley Cup back to college when you win it, unless you're Shane Gersich. That's
true. And then he had to share it.
And then you get a half a day.
You get a quarter of a day because Oshie spent 50% with it, and then him and Travis Boyd had to spend like partial time with it at Oshie's party. So
I do like how all the Caps so far have spent time with it, like at somebody else's thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like, hey, I understand your equation there, but also the thing
because I went accounting.
Yeah,
debits and credits.
Debits, credits. I also think that accounting firms might need that degree. The Washington Capitals don't give two fucks if you finish sports management in 4 years.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so my analogy doesn't work in the real world. I get it. But so I don't know. My dad owns the accounting firm. So he can't not hire me. How about that?
Okay, that's fine. Now I understand.
It's a family accounting firm.
It's a family account. It's Batanzo Family Accounting.
Batanza, and you don't mess with the Italian accountants.
No, never go against your family. Never go against Pizzeria.
No, they go right for the knees.
Never go exactly. And by knees, they mean your 401ks.
Right. They take you, they cut you out. They take your money, it turns into a Patanza scheme. Not as cool as a Ponzi scheme, but close.
No. It's really short. It's a short-term play.
It's short to the top. And plus, you never know which one you're talking to, which is weird.
Shit, it's kind of. And if you're Sean Leahy, you're completely screwed.
Yeah. I've taken Sean Leahy like 4 times in the Patanza scheme.
Yeah. Under different aliases. Fantastic.
I told him I was Mark once.
And you met him on the concourse. It's great. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, Sean Leahy, you gullible fuck. I don't know. I mean, the one and done. It's rough because you don't owe the school anything. I understand that, and it's like free agency. You don't owe your team anything. But the school has to be less stupid with their people. Also, you don't build around something. You don't build around a player, a guy who's is going to leave. Like I guess you get the most out of him you can, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, that goes on the coaching staff. It goes on the marketing team. College coaches have to be smarter, is all I'm saying.
So colleges have scouts. Right?
Technically, yes.
I mean, they may not be called scouts.
No, they're head coaches.
There have to be people that have watched these players play, right? And they have to be smart enough that says, yeah, this kid is fantastic. More than likely, he's leaving after a year.
Yeah, exactly. This is great. He's going to do good for any system. He's a one and done guy. He's going to go to Ottawa next chance he gets.
And you already know that they're drafted before they get to college for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because they've already committed to colleges, right?
Oh, you can decommit at any time, and then odds are major. Like in this case, Brady Tkachuk's major junior rights are held by London, the Knights. So odds are he'll jump from if he doesn't make the roster, he'll have to go to London because someone holds his rights and he's still of junior age.
And because he's also become a pro, he can't play in the NCAA anymore.
Yep. After he signed his contract and got his signing bonus, he is done.
Wow.
So,
I mean, yeah, well,
make your money, kid.
I mean, so the other route, right, are these kids that do what Austin Matthews did, because I see that becoming more prevalent than kids going to the NCAA for a year. Is these kids at 17 years old, 18 years old, going to Europe for a year and then getting drafted and then coming into the NHL, because that seems far easier to do. Why would you even screw with the NCAA at that point? Like, why are you even part of it?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I think the Matthews play was the smartest play he ever did, because not only did he get money, he also played against grown men. And that's a huge thing, because then you can start, anticipating what it's going to be like, and how good your skills are against guys who've been there 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years.
And he knew that he was going to be in the NHL when he was 18.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, there was no doubt that he wasn't going to be on the Leafs at 18.
And I think it's also a thing where you have to be as exceptional as Austin Matthews was to do. Like, Connor McDavid could have done that.
But you don't think Brady Tkachuk could have done that? I feel like he could have.
He might have been able to, but I think it's few and far between. It's who was the first pick overall this year? I can't even fucking remember.
I was asleep.
That's fine. Everyone else was too. Who even had the first pick? Oh, it was Buffalo, right? Oh yeah, Rasmus Dahlin. And he did. He played over.
He was European
because he's European. All right. Well, fucking that goes out the window. But like a guy like McDavid could have went over there. Crosby
Nice,
could have
haha,
over there.
fuck you. The 2018 draft.
Right? Jesus.
Sorry.
Have Jen in there. She'll have the thing. I'll be like, I don't know. I was there. That's about it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think going over to Europe could be a bit bigger option if the player if European teams are willing to take on these kids because they have a limited window for internationals too.
Yeah. But Austin Matthews has kind of opened a door.
Yes.
Right? Like, why wouldn't people... Because he played in Sweden?
Switzerland.
God. They're neutral.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't teams in Switzerland take more players from the United States and Canada who are 17 years old? Because Austin Matthews showed that he could do what he could play in that league. Like, until you get burned, right? Like,
sure.
like,
Hell yeah.
Why not allow that? Like, you've seen these kids play in the World Junior Championship at that point. Like, you know what their stock is. Like, why not take a chance on a kid like that?
So a kid like Jack Hughes is going to be the #1 overall pick probably next year.
Is he a defenseman?
Forward. His brother Quinn is the defenseman, I believe.
That's the kid I keep hearing about.
Yeah, no, like I saw Jack Hughes was on the under-17 USA developmental team as a 16-year-old, and he dominated. Like, his skating stride is fantastic. He has
But
hands.
apparently his brother's better.
Yeah, no. As they get older, the Hugheses get better, or as they get younger, the Hugheses get better.
That's insane.
So you got Quinn, you got Jack, who's going to be top overall pick next year, and then you got, I think, Manny, Jack, and Quinn. I don't know if that's his name. Point is this, Manny. I think a kid like Jack Hughes could probably go over to Europe and play if he wanted to, but I think he wants to stay and play at the University of Michigan like his family. And that's when family lineage comes in. That's a word.
But still, will they be pissed off at him when he leaves after 1 year? Because he's probably a 1-year kid.
Oh, Quinn's going to be a 1-year kid. Jack Hughes is going to be a 1-year kid. I mean, I don't think they'll be pissed. I think, well, this will be Quinn's second year because I think he played at Michigan last year. I don't know. I'm so confused with how things work nowadays.
How? Was he 16?
Quinn went 7th overall last year. Jack was 16 last year. He's going to be 17 this year.
Okay.
And he's playing for the developmental
Quinn's not going to the NHL this year. He's going to play in
he is returning
Michigan for a year, and then he's probably gone.
Oh yeah, and that's his plan outright.
And then Jack may or may not even play.
Exactly. Well, Quinn Hughes has already played a year at Michigan, so he will be a sophomore at the University of Michigan next year.
That makes him a young sophomore, though, right?
His birthday's October 14th.
Yeah,
so he's 18. He'll be 19 in October.
Yeah, he just missed that cutoff by
a month,
30 days. Yeah.
Where's Jack? His apparently brother Luke, who is playing for the Bantam Majors AAA Little Caesars, is as good, if not better, than the two of them. My God.
Wasn't there was a Sports Illustrated article about that family, right?
I think so.
I read it. I read an article about them.
So last year on the U.S. developmental team, Jack Hughes played 27 games for in the USHL. So like this is top tier kids. He played 27 games, had 21 goals, 33 assists.
It's almost 2 points a game.
It's sick. Almost a goal a game. Almost
2 points a game. It's almost a goal and an assist a game.
Yeah. That's insanity. My God. This family. These
are the kids that'll come through Piney Orchard.
Maybe. I don't know if the developmental team goes through there. They play in the USHL. The Maryland
USHL.
Maryland team is the NAHL, the NAHL.
Gotcha.
Which, by
Darn.
the way, Chesapeake Hockey Week coming at you in about a month's time. I have to do prep work and
Nice.
get some feelers out there.
Well, I can go and pick up audio for you if you want.
That'd be great if you could.
It's not like I'm doing anything on weekends. I might as well go watch them play hockey.
Right? Well, it's funny because they're coming up here.
Will they give me season press credentials?
I'm sure they would if you asked nicely. Well, here's the thing. I haven't connected.
Have they gotten back to us yet about marketing?
No, they have not. They have
That was a month ago.
Yeah, it was
Should I ask them now if I can get like press credentials?
Maybe as the season gets closer. Sure.
I'm gonna ask them now.
Yeah, just ask them now. Just email them today. Say, hey, my name is Johnny P. I'm the producer to the Stars. By the way, Todd Butts loves your rant.
I'm gonna say ... LOL. Let me in.
Yeah, LOL. Let me in.
Oh, nice. I'm glad he did. I'm glad.
He's like, wow, we should have recorded audio. I'm like, yeah, no, I feel bad that we didn't.
That's all right.
It is what it is.
That's all right. I'm still trying to figure out if I should go down there or not. Because I don't know if I want to be part of this clusterfuck that's the Roval or not.
It'd be you would see the first Roval. That's for sure.
It would be the first NASCAR race ever. It's kind of like my MO at this point because the first Ravens game I ever went to was in London.
Yeah.
So I might as well, the first NASCAR race I ever go to might as well be an abortion of a fucking road race.
Right? I was gonna say it's not like there's a Glen Burnie racetrack, which there should be.
No, but Dover's way closer than fucking Raleigh.
Richmond's as close. Richmond and Dover are equidistant from each other.
I can take my race car down to the racetrack.
There you go. Hey, fantastic.
I do like the new car. It's nice. I like it.
New car does look slick. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, so that was the Patreon. By the way, NBC rolled out their schedule. Capitals and Blackhawks are dominating the field once again. I
saw the little. I saw the butthurt Blue Jackets who were like, "Hey, we're only the sixth best team in the East, and we're doubling our NBC televised games this year or whatever."
Yep, from 0 to 2.
Wankers.
So here we go. If you're scoring,
that's not even doubling then because you can't double 0.
That's true. Unless they only had 1 last year, then that is kind of doubling. It's Columbus. They don't know. It's Ohio State. Their coaching staff is really fucked up too. Big Ten.
That's a different rant for a different night.
Yeah. So here's a breakdown. Break it down. Anaheim Ducks on 8 times, all on MSNBC. Coyotes twice, all on MSNBC. Boston 14 times.
Question.
Sure.
When did MSNBC start getting games?
Sorry, NBCSN. It's about the same. Actually, MSNBC would probably get more viewership.
Well, that's because it's right after like Shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Shark Tank or whatever.
That'd be fantastic. Bart Cuban with the lead in. Boston Bruins on 14 times, 2 on NBC, 1 on NBCSN. Buffalo 5 times, all on NBCSN. Calgary Flames on twice, both on the SN. Carolina Hurricanes on once. Only on that should be on CNBC.
Actually, that's on USA.
Right?
Let's be honest.
The Chicago Blackhawks on 19 times. 3 times on the main network, 16 times on SN. Colorado Avalanche 6, all on SN. Columbus Blue Jackets.
Speaking of the Blackhawks, real quick, I saw a tweet this week. It was fantastic. It said the worst part, or the only unbelievable part of Mystery Alaska is that the fact that there was an outdoor game held without the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, it was before NBC stepped in.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, that's a good one. Blue Jackets, like I said, twice on the SN. Dallas Stars once on the SN. Detroit Red Wings 6 times on the SN. Edmonton Oilers 7 times, all on the SN. Florida Panthers once on the SN. LA Kings 5 times on the SN. Minnesota Wild 11 times, oddly enough, twice on the main network, 9 times on SN.
Nice.
Les Habitants de Montréal 1 time on the SN. Nashville Predators 12 times, once on main, 11 on SN. Devils twice, both on the SN. Islanders once on the SN. Rangers, this is an interesting one. The Rangers lead the way with most national games. They play 14 games on the NBC networks, 5 on the main network, and 9 on NBCSN. Ottawa Senators, big old goose egg. No one gives a shit about them in NBC land. Philadelphia
That should be.
Right. Philadelphia Flyers, 17, 4 on the main network, 13 on SN. Pittsburgh Penguins, 15, 2 on the main network, 13 on SN. Sharks, 8, all on SN. Blues, 10 times, 2 on main, 8 on the SN. Tampa Bay, 12, 1 on main, 11 on SN. Toronto Maple Leafs, 6, all on the SN. They don't give a shit about the Canucks. They get a 0. Golden Knights, 9 times, all on the SN.
Perfect.
Your 2018 Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals, 18 times, 4 on the main network, 14 on SN. And the Winnipeg Jets, 5 times on SN.
Huh. We do have some pickups from the chat here.
Yes.
Brian asks what we think the best channel in the US for the NHL would be. He did say that MSNBC had Olympic hockey on it, by the way.
I think CNBC.
And AJ said that the Panthers are on once, but it's at 2 p.m. on a Thursday.
Really? Is that the Thanksgiving game? Why are they on that fucking early? I would love it if that's true. I would love it. He might be joshing us.
Has he ever?
I don't know.
Plus, we don't know what the J stands for, so it might be joshing.
That could be. Best network for the NHL. I don't know. That's an age-old debate. Because
it is, right? Because like, who's going to give it the most attention? I guess. Oh, yeah. AJ says it's one of the Finland games.
Oh fuck, that's hilarious. That's great. That's fantastic. See, you could say Fox because they have the regional networks, but at the same time, Fox is not going to have. I mean, you're going to run into the same problem as NBC is like the
but NBC has regional networks too.
Yeah, they do. They have the Comcast networks until Comcast leaves NBC because I think NBC Universal Comcast deal ends soon.
For me, I think that NBC is the best conglomerate that holds this, but I also don't think that you should have it your flagship on NBCSN that no one gets.
Right.
Like your flagship has to be on like a TV channel that more people get in this country.
I would love to see the growth of NBCSN because I don't think it's that much. I don't
like
think
even USA has more people that probably subscribe to it than NBCSN.
Well, I think USA Network is basic cable.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think that USA is still part of the same group, but I don't think you have to pay extra to get it.
No.
Because I have to pay extra to get a sports package that has NBCSN and the NHL network and all of that happy shit, BN Sports.
Really?
So I feel like NBC could do a better job of putting it on a channel where more people can see it, but doesn't that at that point then, if it's USA, it runs into WWE? And I guarantee you more people watch WWE than they watch the NHL games on a Monday night.
Here's the thing, and this is just me. WWE only is going to run, I think starting next year, going to run once a week on USA because Fox bought the rights to the Tuesday show.
Oh, SmackDown.
Yes. So they will only have Monday Night Raw. The big thing with USA, a lot of reality TV. You got the Cromarties, you got the Miz and his wife, got some other people. I think you could fit hockey in there somewhere.
I'm not going to lie. The only time I watch USA is when the EPL shows 10 games on opening weekend and I get to watch all of them at the same time.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I think NBC is the conglomerate to be at. They have to get better exposure because even if it's Fox, if you put it on FS1, less people get FS1 than MSNBC.
That's true. It's part of the same package on Fios.
Yeah. Well,
but Well,
I wonder if there's numbers.
so you
on this.
still only have Fox proper though.
Yep.
Like for your like big game, even FXX is like part of another like package.
Well, I think FS. Well, then you got FX too. FX is kind of basic cable, right?
Is FX basic cable? It may be.
Maybe.
Not sure. I know Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2 are both part of that sports package
Yeah.
that I'm paying extra for on Fios.
There we go. Can I get a subscription?
But Phil is using my Sling box so that he can watch US channels.
No, that's nice of you.
Brian says that FX is part, right, Brian? It is part of basic cable.
I would think so.
I think that's what he's saying. All I got, it was yes, is.
Okay. So yeah, no, see, it's tough.
So that means that means Fox has 2 channels then.
Yes, Fox and FX. That wouldn't be too bad.
Right. So maybe Fox is the better choice.
And you notice how we haven't mentioned ESPN or Disney Corp?
Well, so I think ESPN's kind of like
Yeah.
Like,
because you have no regionals at that point, so you can't.
But are they gonna? So here's what they're fucking up with soccer. So they bought their rights to a lot of shit for soccer, right? The championship they bought the rights for in England. That's the second tier of English soccer. They bought the rights to the FA Cup. They put all of it on ESPN Plus. Which quite literally means that you have to pay $4.99 a month in order to watch any of it.
Yeah.
That used to be free.
Yeah.
On major channels. Right? And just the fact that you have ESPN doesn't mean that you also get ESPN Plus. You have to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
So ESPN is out in my case because they're quite literally fucking up soccer coverage in the United States for anything outside of MLS. Sorry, that was my little rant. We also had a question. I had a text question that asked if the Washington Capitals have announced their third jersey yet.
No, they have not. I bet you at CapsCon they will.
That's why.
FY, this is from March. NBCSN, 83,000 subscribers. Fox Sports 1, 83,000 subscribers. It's the same.
Because it's the same package.
It's the same package, yep.
Yeah, they all have to subscribe to it.
Yep. Good work, sir. Good work on that. Let me see Aesthetics. Who they have, what they have in terms of information. St. Louis Blues will announce their jerseys on the 28th, I think. Also, the Vancouver Canucks have unveiled their 50th anniversary jersey for 2019-20. It is the Flying Skate. The Flying Skate of Pavel Bure years will be...
That thing looks fantastic, by the way.
I love it. I love that color scheme. It's tremendous. Yeah, the St. Louis Blues will announce theirs on 2 Sundays from now, the 26th. They'll announce it at a Icebreaker. I guess that's like their Comic-Con or whatever, or what have you. No word yet on if the Caps do, which I've heard they will, and that's from no one. It's expected, but no word yet on when it could be unveiled. So, good luck trying to figure that out.
So my friend is so one of the guys I used to referee soccer with is a big Capitals fan, and we've been talking a lot, and he bought the championship patches or the champions patches and everything, and he wants to get his last name is Wilson, so he bought a Wilson jersey, as any self-respecting Wilson would do. Sure. And he wants to get the finals patch put on the jersey, but he wants to get it done at Kettler so that it's done correctly. right? Like you don't want it all willy-nilly on a jersey. So I'm going to drive down there at some point to get Verana put on the finals jersey that I bought. So he was like, hey, has the third jersey come out yet? Because I want to buy one of those too.
Yeah, no.
Because he expects it the same way that we expect it to be, that like the Navy jersey, basically.
It's interesting because I'm not sure if the Navy. A lot of people are saying it could be retro again. I'd rather it be Navy. All honesty,
I'd rather it be different. I don't want it unless the thought process is that. Holy shit! Sorry, lost my train of thought. I'm gonna finish what I was saying, and then I'm gonna come back to the live chat. Unless the thought process is that they're going back to the retro jerseys full time, which they should have done when Adidas came in the first place. They should have just said, scrap this whole thing, and we're going to go with the old whites and the old reds, and this is the time to do it. Unless that's what they're doing, fuck that old red as a third jersey. Sorry, but you already did it. You already got that money. Move on to something else. Be original. Come up with some new fucking idea. Just me. But so Brian says, hold on, there's a lot of ESPN talk right now. ESPN has going for it Hockey Wise the hockey song, which I think I have on my phone. The hockey ESPN hockey theme is the only reason to go back. And then Brian says word on the street is that ESPN Plus is putting on major inline hockey championships on their site.
Fun fact, ESPN will be broadcasting hockey games this year as part of the ESPN Plus package. Because of the thing they have with ML Bam. If you get if you get ESPN Plus, you'll be able to get select games because ML Bam has the center ice package. So ESPN Plus will be broadcasting games this year. As far as ESPN hockey wise, Greg and the folk there, the blog has always been good. I mean, they always had a good blog and a good website. Now, I mean, Greg's there. He's more poignant than, like, he's not an insider like Pierre LeBrun or idiot Scott Burnside. But there it is. Delicious.
That's probably all I can play.
Yeah, exactly. Before I was going to say, are we going to get flagged for this? But yeah, I mean, the thing is that
I'm surprised that hasn't come up as a random thing for me to play at the end of the show. It's in the same playlist.
Yeah. By the way, I think Caps Convention, the Fan Fest already happened. In any case. Yeah, I mean, ESPN is not the place for it because they already have too many properties that they're not going to give the time to the NHL. Especially considering they have UFC coming. They're not going to give time to the NHL. They're doing the best with what they're able to. Still, people yearn for more. It's because it's ESPN. And when people think sports, people think ESPN. They default to ESPN. Because that's what we've been trained to do, is default to ESPN. So
yeah, but I don't know if that's the same anymore.
It could be changing. I mean, you very well could be right.
I mean, there were a lot of sports lemmings in this country, right? Like ESPN is the way to go. ESPN, whatever ESPN says, this is what I think. Blah 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 blah. But I think that that's starting to change. I think Fox is starting to do things where they are putting the World Cup on, right? And people think, you know, I watch the World Cup on Fox. I listen to the people on Fox. What else can I see on Fox? And then all of a sudden they see FS1 and they're like, oh, there's more soccer. There's more of this. There's more of that. There's racing on different channels. I didn't even know there was a fucking thing where you raced Porsches around, but that's fantastic. And I watched it for like hours right before I watched whatever the clusterfuck of a NASCAR race was the last time when I was going on that little rant after the show last week. Like, I didn't even know some of this stuff occurred. And I was like, check this out. This is sweet. So I think that it's starting to spread out. I think that people are starting to see things that, like, cable is actually working, I guess, because they're like, the joke, right, is there's 150 channels and nothing's on TV. If I could only get the sports channels, I would be completely okay with that, because that's probably what I watch for the most part, except outside of like stuff that I could probably get over the air on a like $40 like antenna that I put in my house somewhere. But I think that some of these other sports channels are catching up to ESPN. I guess that's the point that I'm making, is that it's not just ESPN anymore.
Yep, that works. I would agree with that.
We have some Barstool Sports Talk.
I don't like Barstool.
That's on there.
Not a fan of Barstool, not gonna lie.
Also a talk that we should get Ray Matz on the show. The guy from Pro Beach Hockey.
Maybe. That could be a thing. Who is Ray Matz?
I think we talked about him at some point.
I think I tried to get an interview with him. He just never came around.
I don't like Barstool. I can't say that. It's such a hard thing to say. I can't say Barstool Sports. There we go. I said it.
There.
I don't like them. And I'm going to base everything they do on the one person from the company or blog or website or whatever the hell it is that I've heard talk. And he comes off as such a douchebag that I can't fucking listen to him talk. So I'm sorry that you're bringing down all of Barstool Sports, but I'm not going to read anything that fucking comes out of that place because of big cats. You're a douche.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, not even El Presidente.
El Presidente I'm okay with.
Wow.
Well, he's the same guy that's on Fox, right? For Fox Soccer or no?
I think I don't know. He might be.
Fernando Fiore?
The real Boston guy.
Oh no, I've never heard him then.
Oh,
the only person I've ever heard is Big Cats, and it's because he's on like Men in Blazers and stuff from time to time. But I listened to a podcast called The American Fiasco. If you like soccer at all, you should listen to it. It's about the 1998 World Cup and what a fucking clusterfuck that was. But they have an episode where he's on it like halfway through, and it's basically talking about the like state of soccer in the United States right now. And I listened to like maybe 3 minutes of it, and I was like, you are such a douchebag. I can't fucking listen to you talk anymore. And I just moved on to the next one.
There you go.
So sorry, but yeah, I know, Brian. He does own part of Swansea.
Yeah, no, Dave Portnoy is El Presidente. He's the president guy of the area. Very Boston guy.
Oh, now I'm putting all the pieces together. So Ray Matz is a guy that played in Pro Beach Hockey. He played with Brian at some point. And we haven't talked to him, but he could be on the show because Brian could talk to him and ask him if he wanted to be on the show. So if we wanted to make that happen, we could talk to Brian. That's what the pieces are.
I know.
I hadn't put all the pieces together.
Put the pieces together, John. Put all the pieces together.
Producer to the stars.
There it is. Nailed it. Yeah, I mean, I maybe we'll see. We'll see how crazy we feel. Yeah, well, I don't know. What the hell were we? Kind of just floored out there. Oh, speaking of double IHF.
Oh,
Renee Fasel said that he has 4 plans. 4 plans, Johnny.
Floor plans?
Floor plans. 4 plans for the 2020 or 2022 Olympics.
Oh, I thought he had the floor plans for the new Piney Orchard.
It would be great. Second rink coming in soon.
This is like soccer. It's the sport of the future. Second rink coming soon.
So there's 4 plans for IIHF Olympic hockey in China. Plan number 1, NHL players come back in a dramatic craziness because China has money. Number 2, amateurs and pros with no NHL binding contract. Basically what happened in Pyeongchang this past Olympics. Number 3, akin to the soccer, under 23s.
How long have we been saying this?
For a while, for at least 17 years. And here's the doomsday scenario. Are you ready for this?
They get rid of it completely.
Plan number 4, no men's hockey. So,
there's part of me that wouldn't like miss it. Sadly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's be dead honest. The last tournament was great for 4 games.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
It's pretty much as long as I watched the women's hockey tournament.
Yeah, that's about right. So, I don't know. That seems a little crazy to me. Not gonna lie, seems a bit crazy to me.
I think 4 is worst case scenario.
I would
say.
like
4 is basically like a double fingered F off to the NHL and being like, peace, we're out.
Right. But the thing is this.
I think 3 is the way to go.
You have to. You have to do under 23s.
Like, and
this is when you stall.
We can't get NHL
Juniors.
credentials because they listen to our show and they decide that we're shit. But the IIHF, they love everything we talk about.
Yeah, they love us. I got a credential hanging on my wall from the IIHF. So can you do? I for one welcome the IIHF and the under 23s.
I do too. I'd be perfectly fine with that. And let's take it a second step. Let's go the soccer route.
Mm-hmm.
Let's allow 3 overage players that don't have contracts in the NHL. A Brian Gianta. Right?
Yeah.
Like, allow that to occur as well. Let's quite literally use exactly the same makeup that they use for the soccer tournament every 4 years.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Like, at this point.
Because I guarantee you can find a Chris Bork in every country.
Well, he might go into every country. He's very high on waivers. People love his waiver drafts.
Well, yeah. I mean, I say go for it. Why? It only makes sense, right? Like, if the NHL players aren't going to come back, fine. But what you might be able to do is you might be able to coerce that aging player who may be a healthy scratch on his Stanley Cup, on his NHL team, right? To come back to play in the Olympics for a couple weeks instead of sitting as a healthy scratch for 2 weeks with an NHL team. He has an NHL contract. Maybe you don't even have the NHL contract thing. As long as the team allows him to go, he can go.
Yes. Yeah. Look, man, I'm all about that. All about that base.
Sorry, Brian. I don't agree with soccer needing to put the best in the Olympics because the Olympic soccer tournament is not the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that the Olympic hockey is the pinnacle for hockey. The World Cup is the pinnacle for football.
True. Olympic soccer has nothing to do with soccer as a whole.
No.
It's basically it's one step higher than Gold Cup.
It's World Junior for soccer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Brian also asked about the Ryan Kessler, Ryan Johansson thing. Couldn't give 2 shits about it. It's fucking keyboard warriors.
I don't even know what it is. So
Ryan Kessler asked about, I don't know, something about coming down there and wanting to fight Ryan Johansson, and Ryan Johansson said, "I'll play your part." I don't know. By the way, not everything has to be a clapback. Not everyone has to be savage. Not every reply is a fucking. I'm saying this in general, because Bar Down is up there with Barstool Sport. Anything with a bar in it, I'm not a fan of. Bar Down is just fucking bullshit clickbait. Barstool Sports, there's some people that actually, there's some good eggs in there. But I mean, listen, not like Ryan Johansson saying I'll pay your parking. It's not that big of a clapback. I don't even know what a clapback is. I'm fucking tired of this culture. By the way, I lost 41 followers of Twitter porn bots, and I couldn't be happier.
oh,
All my Twitter porn bots on my old psychology podcast unfollowed me. I forgot I still had that thing. Yeah. My big thing is this: is that it's not unless they do it. If it was during the season, fine. Early August, whatever. Not too concerned. Mentioned Vancouver. Blah, 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 blah. 30th anniversary Wayne Gretzky deal. Where were you when the world stopped turning? By the way, if we could stop
at what
with these
at what
fucking
point does that
retrospectives-
not become relevant anymore?
I'm saying soon. I'm saying it starts to become irrelevant until it's like fives and zeros now.
This is probably not going to be a very
Popular.
take. But I think that Gretzky's done enough for hockey. I think that the trade to LA jump-started the West Coast Sun Belt through the Bible Belt revival, expansion growth, the Nashvilles, the Atlantas, the Vegas at this point, growth of hockey through that area. I think that it was big for hockey. I think that the cliche of anybody can be traded, Wayne Gretzky was traded, is played out. I think that there's zero reason to continue to talk about the Wayne Gretzky trade every year. It had its time. It no longer is relevant in the NHL as it is today.
Bored. You're correct, sir. You're absolutely
I mean, that's exactly where I stand at this point. And I loved Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was one of my favorite hockey players growing up. Wayne Gretzky made me stay up long enough to watch the LA Kings play, which no one does anymore. But it's over. So the Miracle on Ice, right? I feel like still kind of has relevance.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
no,
weird.
Absolutely.
I feel like that has more relevance than Wayne Gretzky being traded to LA.
Grander scale. It's a bigger scale, and the time span was. There was no war between Edmonton and LA. There was no hard heat between Edmonton and LA for us to give a shit. U.S. Russia. It's end of the Cold War and that Cold War thing. Big cultural.
But as it ended. I mean, I feel like everybody's still kind of talking about Russia, that there's kind of a lingering cold. Maybe it was just kind of a
anymore.
freezer that didn't work very well anymore. Maybe you just had to get a new cylinder for it, and now it's cold again.
It's fine. Everything's fine. No one's going to die yet. Well, we're all going to die, just eventually.
Right, true.
Just could be sooner than later. Man, my big thing is...
The question about the Twitter spat is, do you think they'll fight before the season?
No, not at all.
All right.
Why would they?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be a producer to the stars here.
Oh no, I'm just saying in general. I'm answering the question outward, not like you posed that question to me. Yeah, I mean, if you mean preseason, no. You mean before the season, in a parking lot, no. This is a.
What about in whatever bar they go to?
Oh, I don't think either of them. I don't think Ryan Johansson can go into a bar. Ryan Johansson doesn't. They seem like two different bar guys. Ryan Kessler seems like a guy who'll go to a dive. Ryan Johansson seems like a guy who will go to a place where it's like $100 bottles of champagne. So, what can you do? Yeah, the Gretzky thing. It did what it did, and now it's dead. Stop. There's nothing. It's been 30 years. There's nothing new that's going to come out unless Gretzky goes on a coke bender and says, "This is some bullshit here. Here's what's going to happen." Like, I mean, he's not going to spill the beans. You can't get more vanilla than Wayne Gretzky.
And so if there was anything more to say, right? Like, if there's anything in 30 years at this point that hasn't already come out, wouldn't Wayne Gretzky at this point of his life been like, I'll probably write a book and make a shitload more money?
He already wrote a book. I had it when I was a kid.
But it has nothing to do with this.
No, it has nothing. Zero.
That's what I mean.
It has his time as a kid and then growing up and playing in Edmonton, and that's it.
Right. It's basically like I have a Wayne Gretzky book upstairs. I think it's Wayne Gretzky in photos.
Oh, mine was called Gretzky.
Was it the big book? I have a massive book like this big that's called like Gretzky.
Oh, it was like a paperback. Oh, here's the fucking. Oh,
it has to be a photo book. It's too big not to be.
No, this one's it's Gretzky, an autobiography. Wayne Gretzky with Rick Riley. Hey, you can buy it on Amazon. I see. I'll Scotty screen share this for the kids at home. If screen share will come up, what the hell? There we go. So here's the cover of the Gretzky book right there, in its entirety. Gretzky, an autobiography. It's like he's holding the Stanley Cup, but words. There you go.
But they photoshopped out the Stanley Cup, and it looks like he's just being like,
Well, they probably wouldn't have photoshopped in the Stanley Cup because he didn't win one with the Kings. So unless they decide to, but yeah, I ever had this one. It's a record-breaking #1 bestseller, Johnny.
where
This thing was.
Is there a star behind that says where it was record-breaking?
No. Nationally, it was record-breaking.
In Canada.
I was going to say, it didn't say which nation. So, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen. People signed some contracts this week.
Okay.
Ryan Ellis of your Nashville Predators signed an 8-year, $50 million contract extension to stay with the Nashville Predators. Their defense is pretty good. Granted, Ryan Ellis hasn't played a full season in his life.
Yeah, so that was my question. Like, is that a great deal? Like,
risky. It doesn't kick in until next year. $6.25 million for 8 years.
It's not too bad.
Not terrible. Could have got it for. You probably could have got him for 5.5. So here's what Nashville has tied up this year in defensemen. They have tied up $22 million. Next year, 25.6. Then the year after that, both Roman Josi and Dan Hamhuis come off the books. They basically have a good core for the next 2 years. Interesting.
They're
to see
a really good team that needs to figure out who their goalie is.
Yep. This will be the last year of Pekka Rinne. He's going to be 36 by season's end. He'll be an unrestricted free agent.
Right, but are they going to already start closing the door on winning a Stanley Cup if they continue to allow Pekka Rinne to play another season? Like, is he going to start declining as the starting goalie and Saros is going to take over more time to the point where maybe Saros is starting the playoffs next year? I mean, I've seen it happen before.
Right, it has happened before. Saros, I think, starts off. I think he's going to get a lot more starts. I don't think he's going to take the starter position. I think you'll see him get 25 starts this year. Kind of ease him into that role. Because, Pekka Rinne, you saw 2 years ago, even though he came off of surgery, he played like garbage. He came back very big in the playoffs, but overall did not play great. Last year, Pekka Rinne Saros played 26 games, not all of them starting, and Saros played 4 playoff games this past season. I think it could be Saros' net to lose. In all honesty, I think this could be a year that Saros goes ahead and takes over the Stars job. So exciting for me. Nashville Predators hockey. When I think defense, like, wow, this is like, I looked at their forwards. I'm just like, wow. Ryan Johansson, Philip Forsberg. That's about it. Though Philip Forsberg is worth the price of admission. I will completely say that. Cap still won a cup, so I don't care.
So looking back, right, as much shit as we gave GM for trading Forsberg, where does Forsberg fit on the team that just won the cup? And doesn't he ask for more money so that some of these players aren't actually on the Capitals this year? Like, he's a top line winger.
Yep, he's top line left wing. He basically replaces Tom Wilson. Well,
right.
no, he'd be second line because Ovi's left wing.
Okay, so he's on a second line that doesn't have who? Vrana or Burakovsky on it?
Vrana. He would take.
Maybe that makes it deeper, but who are the Caps not able to sign because they're trying to fit Forsberg under the cap? Because Forsberg makes more money than the rest of the group.
Forsberg makes 6. You probably lose Burakovsky, which, I mean, he was good in Tampa that one game.
Well, but he won game 7.
Yeah, essentially. Other than that, though,
I have a feeling Burakovsky is probably leaving at some point soon. Anyway,
I think he gets mojoed and gets moved.
I love how that's a verb now.
Yeah, he got mojoed. So yeah, I think Burakovsky gets moved because you're going to free up that money, and then you got arbitration rights too. Because you're gonna have to sign Vrana too. Verana's gonna be a RFA next year.
Can the Capitals actually win the Stanley Cup again next season? Like, is there expectation now on the Capitals with literally the same team that's coming back where they didn't have it last year and they were like, we flew under the radar for a while. Losers.
Here,
is there an expectation now that the Capitals win the Stanley Cup again with a quite literally inferior team?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would say, yeah, but the thing is that the makeup of their team is pretty damn good. The same guys they have are pretty damn good.
It is good, but do they? I feel like there are circumstances that allowed the Capitals to win this year, meaning there were injuries, but there were injuries in positions where they had people that could fill in, right? And even though it was a Backstrom or a Kuznetsov for a night, there were people that filled in and took over those spots. Like, do the Caps still have that? Do they still have that depth, I guess, for lack of a better way to say that?
I would say yes.
Is the expectation of you won the Stanley Cup too much for the Capitals to overtake the Penguins? Because let's be honest, like, I saw a tweet by Ben Raby, and he said at the time when Kuznetsov scored against Pittsburgh to win Game 6 in overtime, he said this could be one of the greatest goals in Capitals history. It'll depend on what occurs the rest of the playoffs. He just quoted that tweet within the past week or so and sent it out again and said, with everything that occurred after this, I think that Kuznetsov goal is the greatest goal in Capitals history.
Ooh, in history.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to say that I don't disagree with that. because there was such a clusterfuck of there was such a brain melt or freeze or whatever that occurred with the flightless birds. I'm not allowed to say the P word anymore. With the flightless birds, that the Capitals couldn't get past them. And this occurred in the 80s and 90s. This wasn't a recent thing. Even though they're different players, there's different this, there's different that. The fans that have seen this for years upon years was like, oh, same old, same old. But Kuznetsov scores that goal and everything changes.
I don't disagree. Wasn't the highlight of the playoffs. I think it's the biggest goal of the playoffs. I think it's the second or third biggest goal in Caps history. Dale Hunter on Ron Hextall.
Okay.
I think it's my top one because that's another thing where it's a mental thing, getting up 3-1 and finally breaking that streak there, moving on to the next round.
Okay.
Joe Juneau is probably below. I would say Hunter, Kuznetsov, Juneau, top 3 goals in Caps history in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
and I feel like those are interchangeable depending upon who you talk to.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
But those have to be the top 3, right?
Yes.
Which is interesting because you don't even put DSP's goal in Game 5 to tie the game, or Lars Eller's goal to win the game in Game 5 in your top 3 most important goals of the Capitals' career or history.
And here, it's almost because it was all 3 of those goals were overtime. The 3 that I mentioned. The DSP one was good. It wasn't breaking alone. See that now we're talking. Now you got me thinking.
Because so let's be honest, the DSP goal is the reason the Capitals won in Game 5.
Yes.
And what happens if the
Orpik
Capitals lose in Game 5 and they come back to Washington in Game 6? What is the mindset of the people in Washington at Game 6? Because they've seen this occur before.
Oh yeah, it's shrunken sphincter time.
Now, I will say that Game 4 that I went to was a completely different Capitals game than I've ever been to in my life. So maybe it was new fans that were like, hey, the Stanley Cup Finals is fantastic. Let's go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was Capitals fans turning the corner.
Right.
But if the Caps don't win in Game 5 and it comes back to Washington in Game 6, are we talking completely differently right now? And me not spending like $1,500. Well, I would have still spent the money on the ticket, but all of the extra money on the Capitals winning the Stanley Cup. Because that's a very possible thought. So I feel like DSP's goal has to be decently up high there. But maybe top 5. Brian says it's top 5.
I would say DSP's goal top 5, he said.
Yeah. Well, he says is top 5 to 10. So I don't know if that means top 5 or 5 to 10.
He probably thinks it's like 5 or 6. It's really kind of.
He'll let me know in like 30 seconds when he hears it.
Right. I mean, I'm at the point now where.
Because we haven't gone through this yet on the show, right?
No. The top Caps goals in history?
Yeah.
No.
And I have a feeling that top 10 Capitals games in history box set needs a revision because I bought that, and I'm going to say that they're going to have to make some new ones, like maybe an additional set
expansion pack.
Brian says he said it's legit 5 or 6.
Yeah, I could see it 5 or 6. Absolutely. Now I'm trying to think of all the top goals in history for Capitals. I think DSP is solid top 5. That game 5 goal, Lars Eller goal. I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was such a broken play. It wasn't a fascinating goal.
It still wins the Stanley Cup.
It still wins the Stanley Cup, but who won the Stanley Cup in who? Like, not all cup winning goals are the same. It's no Brett Hall. Though at the same time, how many cup winning goals do you actually remember?
Right. Like, okay, so like real thought.
Mm-hmm.
The goal that Lars Eller scores in game 3 against Columbus in round 1 in double overtime, is that more important than the goal that he scored in game 5 against Vegas in the Stanley Cup final?
No, less important. Much less important.
The sad part is that I think it might be, because I think that
15 people.
But I think that if that puck never goes in the goal, that the Capitals lose in 4 games and are out in the first round.
See, now I think we're playing a little revisionist history too. We're getting to that mindset. If this happens, then the what is it? The butterfly effect. If this doesn't happen, then.
But don't you have to do that with like top goals in like history of
if you break it down? Sports? If you break it down, you can.
Like, don't you have to come into like some kind of repercussion?
I honestly don't know if you do, if you have to or not. I honestly don't know.
Because I feel like as fucking broken as that play was, that goal has to probably be top 10 because it's really the only reason that allowed this run to occur.
Interesting argument.
Right? Like,
interesting,
and it's so weird to think about because like both you and I have watched the video.
Mm-hmm.
We watched how everything progressed. We watched how this went through from beginning to end. I don't know. Like, maybe that was the part where people started believing.
I don't think you can.
What if the Caps go down 3-0 in Columbus?
Then we're not even talking about. We're talking about Kuznetsov not scoring the goal. We're talking about all this,
right?
But if
that's what I mean.
But if Devontae Smith-Pelly scores and it doesn't go off a rebound, like there's so many other guys that could have stepped up.
But another fourth of the inch the other way, and you missed the goal completely.
Yeah, I don't think Lars Eller's Game 3 is top 10. I don't put it top 10 in Caps history.
All right.
I put it top 10 this year. I put it top 5 this year. Hell, I'd put it top 3 in goals. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. Goals for the Caps playoffs this year. Kuzi, ESP game tying, Lars Eller Game 3.
I feel like a very close fourth to that, though, is
the game winner. Or the cup winner.
The cup winner and or Kuznetsov's goal in game 5 against the Penguins, where Vrana springs him to start the third period, because that was a big goal as well.
Yep. Hell, what about
if we're just looking at this playoffs? I feel like there are like 4 or 5 like really big goals that could have changed the entire outcome of this playoffs.
What about Alex Chason scoring from Nathan Walker? Like the fourth line scoring in game 6. Here's the question, though. Is it because we're too much of Caps fans? If we take a step back, if there's somebody else who's not a Caps fan.
It's the thought process that we're making too much out of it because we're expecting the worst.
We're too close to it. We're inside the matrix. If we get the 328 guys and have them rank it.
We should get Cole McClure on and see what he thinks. I mean, I'm sure that he's just going to rank the fucking bacon that he ate when we were in, I don't even remember, Dallas. We were in Dallas, right? I mean, I'm sure that's what he's going to actually sit here and rank. Probably there's going to be a top 5. There are only fucking 4 of them. But let's be completely honest. I mean, Who knows? Maybe he comes up with a fifth bacon that we didn't even know about.
That'd be great if it
I
was a
don't
fifth
know.
bacon. They probably switch out bacon every other day.
It's like the fifth Beatle.
They probably suggested it when they woke up in the morning from their Airbnb upstairs.
Brian says that Kuzi's goal against the flightless birds is the biggest goal. He thinks
Of the playoffs? I think it is.
of the playoffs or ever.
playoffs.
Wait for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's
I think-
definitely the biggest goal of the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's biggest goal of the playoffs. Yes.
By the way, if you were hanging on for haha fuck you, I don't know if it's really as cool with only one person. So
yeah, no, it's not gonna
but we
be.
do have 2 people on the live chat if we wanted to run a quick one down.
No, I think we're fine.
We can ask the live chat, make them, but we'd have to wait for a little bit so that they heard it.
I don't feel like waiting. How much?
Brian says of the year. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, of the
Definitely biggest goal of the year.
Yep. That I would agree to. Interesting.
It's
should
in
do
the
that
fate though, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, and you bring up an extremely good point. Like, is it because we're so close to it? Is it because the "what have you done for me lately" thought process is what comes into your head, right? And we're like, the Capitals won the Stanley Cup last year. The top 5 goals have to be from the last like 18 months, and more than likely they're not.
And my biggest thing is that now, because they won the cup, then we start conspiracy theorying like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny with the little strings pinning this, and this. Well, if this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen here. I mean, like we get to.
Okay, so we're close enough to Capital psyche, right?
Mhm.
So we know that if Lars Eller, if that puck doesn't ricochet off 14 people and there's a second shooter on the grassy knoll and doesn't end up in the goal somehow, that the Caps lose in the first round. They got past that. If Kuznetsov does score that breakaway goal and the Penguins figure out a way to come back and win in game 6, they lose game 7. They got past that. I don't even know what occurred in the Lightning series. I'm going to be completely honest. I was drunk for 2 fucking weeks. And by the time the Capitals made it to the series, the Stanley Cup final, and they got to play Vegas, after game 1, I was like, the Caps are winning this series. There just wasn't a belief that the Caps weren't going to win the Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
It was insane, and I don't know why. I've never had that as a Capitals fan. But I was like, the Caps are winning. The Caps are going to figure out how to win this. I don't know. I feel like the first 2 series were fantastic and huge and
And then the last
Yeah.
2 were just like, what the fuck? We're here.
let's be completely honest right now. We're 3 months removed. July, August. 2 months removed.
2 months, yeah.
And we're still trying to figure out how this works.
Yeah, it was 2 months last week.
Uh,
I'm fine. That's fine. I am
43rd minute.
Hmm?
Wayne Rooney scored for DC United.
He's been good.
He's been good for DC United. I'm going to go see him at some point.
Yeah.
I want to see the new stadium. Looks fantastic.
Looks great. Looks better than RFK.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully this new one isn't falling down.
Well, God willing. And we did talk about the Wilson deal like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I told him. He was
Yeah.
kind of angry. He's like, oh, well.
Yeah, well. You subscribe to iTunes or go to blogtalkradio.com/FOHS radio. Download it all. Dylan Larkin got a 5
If
year.
you're on iTunes, by the way, throw out a good review for us.
He gives a 5-star
We
review.
need to start making our way back up the review
Yeah, exactly.
listing here for podcasts.
Maybe the NHL will say, yeah, you guys aren't that shitty.
No.
Dylan Larkin 5-year extension with Detroit. He's kind of fallen off after that one magnificent year, and then just kind of another one.
I have a feeling that a change of scenery for him would be fantastic.
Right? I think a change of scenery for anyone, and Detroit's going through their lean years right now. Detroit's going through their lean years. So he's only 22. Jesus Christ. Yep, he was a one and done guy too. That's maybe who I was thinking of. Anyway, also Brock Besser and the Canucks are going to discuss a long-term deal. So they got that going for him. Besser's been.
I hope they give him a briefcase that's like a Money in the Bank briefcase.
That'd be really Francisco Aquilini comes in. He says, "I'm cashing in," and then Brock says, "Yeah, me too." And then everyone's handshakes and laughter, and everyone's great.
He has a contract in there that he can cash in at any point.
Yeah. Speaking of things that I hate that millennials seem to love, two things. A, let's not call it the Chell. Stop. Please stop.
The what?
The Chell. That's what the EA Sports are trying to get with the kids. Apparently, they call it the Chell.
The Chell.
Chell.
What is it?
CHEL. The Chell. NHL. See how you say NHL? They say it the Chell. They cut off the N. Chell.
All right, let's keep going. That was fucking stupid.
The thing they call the Beauty League, which is like a 3-on-3 thing in Minnesota. Stop that, please. I understand that maybe he's doing stuff for good cause. I'm crotchety old man. It's like, please, I don't care about the Beauty League. Like, not everything. Hockey lingo is been killed thanks to Gong Show and Letterkenny. I'll be the first to say I don't understand Letterkenny outside of the good 1 minute, 2 minute burst. A whole 30-minute show. Fuck that. I don't have that kind of attention span or that kind of idea to keep things real. If you like Letterkenny, God bless you, but 2 minute. That's Canadian. I figured it out. Letterkenny is Canadian bro. Letterkenny is brodom in Canada form. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not like Johnny, then it's fine. Chell is stupid.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's perfectly fine. Just know this. Chell is stupid. NHL. It's NHL. Not Chell. NHL. That was my, hey, 35-year-old is tired of all this kid bullshit segment for the week. I'm turning into a crotchety old man.
We should start that each week.
Yeah, we should.
This has been another good John and Scott show. We've made it through 2 hours.
And you and I at the beginning of the show was like, yeah, it's going to be an hour tops. Nope.
And thanks to Brian and AJ for giving us content.
And Eddie at the start. Eddie and his 8-track.
And Eddie dropped off. There's only 2 viewers right now. So.
8-track Eddie, shout out. Shout out Brian, shout out AJ. You guys, thank you for giving us some fuel to the fire. We kind of
already no game this week. Maybe next week though.
Next week when Lau gets back. By the way, smoke advisory. You can't see 2 miles in front of you in Alberta because of all the smoke from BC. So, smoke advisory in Alberta.
Is it hot or is it like actual smoke from like forest fires?
It's wildfires.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Apparently not in BC. They've called a provincial state of emergency, which is a redundant thing. Redundant. Rotund. It's a rotund thing.
Rotund is such a great word.
It's a fantastic word. All right, well, Johnny, let's get to shout-outs then, I guess.
I'm gonna shout out to the live chat. Great work tonight, live chat.
Mm-hmm.
We're being asked why we're not on Spotify. I have no idea how to get on Spotify, but we are on TuneIn Radio. So if you have an Echo Dot from Amazon, you can say, "Hey Alexa, play Face Off Hockey Show on TuneIn Radio," and it will play us.
Here is why we're not on Spotify. Blog Talk Radio does not have the application for Spotify. Because our host and server is Blog Talk Radio, we do not automatically get updated to Spotify. Therefore, and we cannot submit because in order to have a Spotify, you have to have a certain server for your Spotify upload. So because Blog Talk Radio does not fall under one of those websites, we are not on Spotify. Go to Blog Talk Radio if you want to get us on Spotify. If not, get us on iTunes. Like, download it. Like, there's 75 other.
I mean, you can get us on Overcast. I get us on Overcast. I get us on TuneIn Radio. Like
get us on iHeart. Get us on iHeart. iHeart Media. They're about to go bankrupt. Let's get on there before they fall over.
So yeah. So you can find us in many places, especially iTunes. If you're listening to us on iTunes, or if you have an iTunes account, go to iTunes Radio. I think it's the iTunes store actually. And if you search for podcasts, you can find us. Give us a good 5-star review. That helps us move up in the listing of podcasts that are out there. We don't know how it works, but it works. So
we don't know algorithms.
If you can do that, help us out. What else? I'll give a shout out to Scotty. I missed some of our John and Scott shows. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we've had some good John and Scott shows because it's like we know each other, and then we like come up with thoughts, and we're like, hey, what about this? And it turns into a 30-minute thought on what the greatest Capitals goal in history is.
And then devolves into what's the greatest Capital goals of this playoffs. Right.
And we both watched the same video, and we both hated the extras because they were bullshit. Yep. What else? I give a shout out to voiceovers. I love that at some point somebody decided, hey, you don't sniffle enough. How about we let you voice over all the videos for our show? Or for our company. Sure. Let me do that. I actually, and I think I said it previously, but I'll say it again. What actually occurred was my boss looked at me and goes, hey, you know how to use a microphone. You should voice over all of our training videos. Sure. I can do that. I have a studio in my basement.
Hey, you said you had a podcast, right? Here we go.
It was pretty cool though. I haven't done that much audio editing since I put together a 20-minute tract of funked. Funk. No T in that. For a friend's wedding. So pretty excited. And yeah, I'm gonna take some numbers on this launch monitor that I got, and I'm gonna send it to Balaji and be like, figure out my shit, sucker. I remember you when you were nothing. Sorry. That was wrong. That was wrong. I love you, Balaji. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Shout out to the live chat for giving us a lot of stuff. Shout out to Johnny for, hey, we figured out how to do 2 hours plus. Woo.
9%. That's what did it.
Nice. Shout out to Zephyr for the cool Tokyo Dachi stickers. It's a shame they have them only in snapbacks. Hopefully they'll have a fitted, and then I can wear Angry Testudo very proudly. Go to zhats. I think it's zhats.com. Let me see. Hold on. Yep, at zhats.com. Check out the Tokyo Dachi. It's got all kinds of, like, it's got Dixie State. If you're a Florida A&M fan, they have one for you. Liberty University, you betcha. Western Kentucky, where's that hilltopping son of a bitch? Where is he? Where are you, you fat bitch? Where are you? He's not on here. Okay, they don't have Western Kentucky. You're shit out of luck. But if you want Youngstown State Penguins, they got you covered. Like a Jimmy hat. East Carolina, goddamn right they got East Carolina. Virginia Tech, hokey it up. zhats.com. They're not even a sponsor. Never will be with me giving free promotion. Shout out to D3 Soundtrack. Didn't know it was a thing, but here we are. I got nothing else. We'll have Lyle back next week. It won't be as fun of a show. This was almost 70% hockey. We're gonna have to dumb it down a bit next week. So yeah. For Johnny P, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. This has been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com, which is still not forwarded to Blog Talk Radio /FOHS Radio.
I'm going to have to figure out how to hack into it myself.
We probably know Sean's emails. Patreon.com /faceoffhockeyshow. Be like Brian and Angela and Sean and PF and then Damon and Mark and Tristan and Kevin and Matthew, Ethan, Chris, and Mitch. They all gave to us so we can, kind of get better sounding stuff. Maybe even pay off the Spotify people. Who's to say? So that's patreon.com /faceoffhockeyshow. Help us help you. Twitter.com /FOHS radio. Facebook.com /FOHS radio. And LiveJournal. Not really. Maybe. Well, let me check if it actually still works. And it still works. FOHS.livejournal.com.
Oh, fucking hell.
Last post was in 2004. It was about the NHL Fan Association. All right. Well, this is some garbage bullshit that I wrote. I've been writing since beyond 2000. Wow. Well then. If you want to listen to some bullshit, FOHS.livejournal.com. There you go. We've done it. Till next week. Peace.
We can all just fall apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can shine together. We can all just fall apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can die together. The conversation, the separation, the overlooked $1 million violations. It's time to forget, to hit reset. Desire your own, forget about the presets. The whole nothing back, burn up your last sack. The picture hangs on the wall by a single tack. I live the life of love, I love the life I live. If it's not a day, do it all again because